that's up to the people now. That's why I'm going on, because you're right. I don't know if these people are dangerous, and I have never ever advocated for the release of dangerous people. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not an abolitionist by any stretch. We have people that are a danger to society, and we need to protect the society from them. But the truth is that the top criminologists in the world say that only about 4% of our prison population is a danger to society. 78% of the people in prison never hurt anybody but themselves, drug-related offenses. These are people that are hurting, not dangerous, right? These are people that we need to heal from the trauma that was inflicted upon them, because they're people, and people, deserve to be, to be treated for, the damage that was caused from an absence of a mother, or the stealing of their children, or, any number of other traumatic issues that nobody cares about, because all we want to say is look at the monster and what the monster did, and let's lock that monster up. That monster was created. It wasn't born.
I literally have a friend who is getting out in 3 days, and it was marijuana. He spent a year in prison, federal prison, for marijuana, and it wasn't anything major. Just
and that's a great example. We have people that are currently serving life without parole. They will spend the rest of their life in prison on marijuana charges, and yet marijuana is legal. If this were a system that were focused on morality and right and wrong, then those people wouldn't still be there, right? They wouldn't be invoking ex post facto. They would say, you know what, society said this is wrong, so let's get them back home, right? I think that they've already suffered and paid enough if society is out here doing it, and they're in a prison forcing an involuntary servitude for the very same thing. People have said, yeah, it's okay. The drug issue is proliferated by our government because, and this is well known from the 60s, but when our government, when it buys and sells and manufactures drugs through these drug task forces so that it creates this criminal environment, and then the people go and break the law within that criminal environment, you go and, send them to prison. That's not really, I think, the best moral direction that our government should be going. I think that we should be, caring about the people and not creating a criminal environment, not doing these things that will intentionally, lead to criminality and aberrant behavior. I think we can have much better leaders of our country if our leaders choose to not be criminals. Because this issue of criminality, the way we're trying to fight it from the bottom up, where we go out and arrest the people for the crimes they commit, it's never going to work this way. It will never work, because if our country is being led by criminals, and remember, the definition of a criminal is one who transgresses the law. It doesn't matter if that law is the Constitution or that law is a state statute. If you transgress the law, that's the very definition of a criminal. So if our country is being led by criminals because they're not following the Constitution, then you can expect that our country is going to be led toward criminality, and that is going to produce an environment of criminality, and that will produce a society of criminals. We are following our leaders, and we need to let our leaders know that we don't want criminals leading us. We want you to act in a lawful manner, because if you are acting unlawfully, everything you're doing, government, is unlawful, because you cannot produce a lawful outcome from your unlawful acts. This is something that they need to do. So what I'm doing more than anything else is my attack is on them. I want them to just accept their honor. And if you want to call yourself honorable, if you want to be a leader, then you have to step up and you have to lead the people. And that means you're going to lead them in a good direction, because you choose to do the right thing, not choose to do, what everyone else is doing, or not choose to ignore something that is real simply because it would be too much of a business impact to your operations. I want these people to accept the fact that today you're a criminal, but we would welcome you back from your criminality if you will lead us in a lawful direction. But if you won't, then we're going to leave you there, and you're going to be known as criminals. And I'm going to make sure that every single one of them is forever known as the traitors that they are. Because if you choose and swear by oath that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and then you refuse to recognize and enforce the body laws, govern this nation, act being informed, that is the definition of treason. And so I am drawing a line of sand, and I'm showing them, this is what the law states. These are what your obligations are. You guys are clearly operating outside of it. This is a big deal, I know. People need to decide, what are we going to do about this? But the people need to talk about it, because we cannot break the law and then enslave people and then say, well, we are a government of laws, right? We are either a government of laws with the Constitution foundation, and that's the truth, and we can all predict our life and future because it's predictable, or we live in an arbitrary and capricious world that judges, control, and decide who is or is not a criminal. And I don't think that that's what the people want. So my big argument is that if in the opinion of the people of the United States, any of the provisions that guarantees the Constitution be in any particular way wrong, then let it be corrected by an amendment in the way in which the Constitution so designates. until, if and when that time comes, every single person is entitled to every single right secured by and enumerated in the Constitution, regardless of where they choose to reside within the jurisdictional United States.
Be a simple man. And oh, won't you do this for me, son?